E-Maths class, Fatima Convent High School, Arithmetic Progression, Chapter 5, Class 10. In the previous session, we came across the three formulas for AP and for D. We understood what is finite AP. In finite AP, to check whether a given sequence of number or pattern of number is an AP or not, and to form a new AP if A and D are given to us or known to us. Now let us work on the next topic, that is nth term of an AP. Now to find the nth term of an AP, we are going to add one more formula to our list. Now let us see how this formula is derived. Let us consider a situation again given in section 5.1 in which Reena applied for a job and got selected. She had been offered the job with a starting monthly salary of rupees 8,000 with an annual increment of rupees 500. What would be her monthly salary for the fifth year? To answer this, let us first see what her monthly salary for the second year would be. It would be 8,000 plus 500 obviously, that is equal to 8,500. In the same way, we can find the monthly salary for third, fourth and fifth year of Reena by adding rupees 500 to the salary of the previous year. So the salary for the third year is 8,500 plus 500, which is equal to 8,000 plus 500 plus 500, which can be splitted into this 500 can be splitted into 500 plus 500, that is 2 times 500, which can be also written as 3 minus 1 into 500, which is equal to 9,000. Now for fourth year it would be similarly 9,000 plus 500. 9,000 can be splitted into 8,000 plus 500 plus 500, where the 500 can be written as 3 into 500 and 3 can be written as 4 minus 1 into 500, which is equal to 9,500. Similarly, for the fifth year, 9,500 plus 500. So 8,000 plus 500 plus 500 plus 500 plus 500, which is 8,000 plus 4 into 500. So 8,000 plus 5 minus 1 into 500 is equal to 10,000. Observe that we are getting a list of numbers, say 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000. These numbers are in AP? Yes, because the D for each term is same. That is, the common difference between the each term is same. Now looking at the pattern formed above, we can find her monthly salary for the 6th year, the 15th year, and assume that she will still be working in the job. What would be her monthly salary for the 25th year? Would you calculate this by adding 500 each time to the salary of the previous year to give the answer? Wouldn't it be very tedious? So can we have some shortcut formula to this? Yes. We can make this process shorter. Let us see how it can be done. You may have already got some idea from the way we have obtained the salary above. Salary for the 15th year is salary of the 14th year plus 500. Now salary of the 14th year is 8,000 plus 500 13 times plus 500, that is 8,000 plus 14 into 500, that is 8,000 plus 15 minus 1 into 500, that is 15,000. So first salary plus 15 minus 1 into annual increment. In the same way, her monthly salary for 25th year can be 8,000 plus 25 minus 1 into 500, which is 20,000, and first salary plus 25 minus 1 into annual increment. This example would have given you an idea about how to write the 15th term or 25th term and more generally the nth term of AP. Now let the AP have A1, A2, A3 terms whose first term is A1 is A and the common difference D. Then the second term of the AP would be A2 is equal to A plus D, which is A plus 2 minus 1D. A3 is equal to A plus D, A2 plus D, that is A plus D plus D, that is A plus 2D is equal to A plus D minus 1D. Same way, fourth A4 term will be A3 plus D, that is A plus 2D plus D, that is A plus 3D is equal to A plus 4 minus 1D. Looking at the pattern, we can say that the nth term An is equal to A plus n minus 1D. So the nth term An of the AP with first term A and common difference D is given by An is equal to A plus n minus 1D. So this is the formula which we are going to work now on. So An is also called the general term of AP. If there are m terms in the AP, then Am represents the last term, which is sometimes also denoted by L. Now let us consider some examples. Find the 10th term of the AP 2, 7, 12. Now here we know that our A is 2, D is 7 minus 2 is equal to 5 and N is 10. Now applying the formula An is equal to A plus n minus 1D, we are finding the 10th term. So A10 is equal to replacing the value of A by 2, n minus 1 because our n is 10 into 5 value of D will give us 2 plus 45 is equal to 47. Isn't it very simple? Let us see the next one now. Which term of AP 21, 18, 15 is 81? Now here already An is given to us. We are also supposed to say that if any term in the AP is 0 and give reason for your answer. Now here A will be 21, D will be 18 minus 21, that is minus 3, An is minus 81. Replacing the values in the given formula, we get n is equal to 35. Therefore, the 35th term of the AP is minus 81. Now the second part of the sum is to check if any term is 0. So let us take An is equal to 0. Now replacing the values again in the formula, we have to see that we find the value of n and I am getting n is equal to 8. So the 8th term of the AP is 0. Isn't that also easy? Now let us see the next type of sum. Determine AP whose third term is 5 and seventh term is 9. Now we know that A3 is A plus 3 minus 1D, that is A plus 2D is equal to 5, and A7 is equal to A plus 7 minus 1D is equal to A plus 6D, which is equal to 9. Now by elimination method, of solving linear equation in two variables, if I solve this equation, I get, subtracting both the equations, I get D is equal to 1. So if I have my D is equal to 1, will I be able to determine the AP? Yes. Now the third term is 5. So the fourth term, fifth term, sixth term and first term can be easily found by the formula A1 is equal to A, A2 is equal to A plus D, A3 is equal to A plus 2D, A4 is equal to A plus 3D. Now I have the value of D is equal to 1. Replacing this in any of this equation, I will get the value of A. So 5 is equal to A plus 2D. So 5 is equal to A plus 2 into 1. So A is equal to 3. Now if my A is equal to 3, first term is 3, second is 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, fifth is already given to me, 3 plus 2 into 1 is equal to 5, and 3 plus 3 into 1 is equal to 6. So we can find all the APs. Now check whether 301 is a term of the list of numbers 5, 11, 17 and 23. Now I know that A is equal to 5 and D I can find by using the formula A2 minus A1, A3 minus A2, A4 minus A3, that is 6. Now let us replace the value for An is equal to A plus n minus 1D. 301 will be my An. Replacing the values, I get n is equal to 151 upon 3. Now always remember, my n should be a positive integer. If I don't get a positive integer, then it is not the part of an AP. But my n here is of improper fraction. So 301 is not a term of the given AP. Now how many two-digit numbers are divisible by 3? Let us check that. Now if you see the multiples of 3 which are two-digit, then it is 12 to 99. Now is this an AP? Yes, because it is divisible by 3. Multiples are 3 are AP. A is equal to 12, D is equal to 3 and An is 99. So now I need to find the value of n. I get by solving n is equal to 30. So there are 30 two-digit numbers divisible by 3. Let us check the 8th example. Find the 11th term from the last term towards the first term of the AP. 10, 7, 4 minus 62. Here A is 10, D is 7, minus 10, that is minus 3, and L is minus 62. L is A plus n minus 1D. Now there are two methods to solve this. Let us see. Now to find the 11th term from the last term, we will find the total number of terms in AP. So that is, total number of terms in AP means you are finding n. So minus 62 is equal to 10 plus n minus 1 minus 3, that is minus 72 is equal to n minus 1 minus 3. So n minus 1 is 24, n is 25. So there are 25 terms in the given AP. The 11th term from the last term will be 15th term. Note this is that it will not be the 14th term. Why? So A15 is 10 plus 15 minus 1 into minus 3, that is minus 32. So the 11th term will be minus 32. There is an alternative method. If we write the AP in the reverse order, then A will be minus 62 and D will remain same. So the question now becomes finding the 11th term with these A and D. So A11 will be minus 62 plus 11 minus 1 into 3, that is minus 62 plus 30, that is minus 32. So the 11th term, which is now the required term, is minus 32. Let us see the 9th example. A sum of rupees 1000 is invested at 8% simple interest per year. Calculate the interest at the end of the year. So, do these interest from an AP? If so, find the interest at the end of 30th year making use of this fact. Always remember, simple interest forms an AP, but compound interest does not form an AP. We know that formula to calculate simple interest is given by PRT upon 100. Now here for the first year, you will replace the values in the formula, you get 80. For second year, you get 160, and for third year, you get 240. By getting the values for first, second and third year, I can easily say that my A is equal to 80. I can find D from 160 minus 80, that is also 80. So after finding my A and D, I can replace the value for A30 in the formula A plus n minus 1D. That will give me answer 2400. So the interest at the end of 30 years will be 2400. Let us do one more illustration. In the flower bed, there are 23 rose plants in the first row, 21 in the second, 19 in the third, and so on. There are 5 rose plants in the last row. How many rows are there in the flower bed? Means again we are supposed to find n is equal to what? Now the number of rose plants in the first, second, third row are 23, 21, 19 and 5. So to form an AP, we need to know whether it is D is same. Yes, it is. Now A is 23, D is minus 2 and AN is 5. So I replace the value in the formula again. I get n is equal to 10, which is a positive integer, and therefore there are 10 rows in the flower bed. Isn't it simple? For today's homework, you are going to do all the 10 illustrations in your fair book. Thank you.